When LIV Golf was launched in 2021, it promised to revolutionise the sport and end the PGA Tour's monopoly. 5 years on, the Rebel circuit is scrambling for new financial partners. Its main backer, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, is set to cut its annual funding of more than $1 billion at the end of the season. LIV, which lured some of golf's biggest names, insists its model will be attractive to new investors. Dan Plumley is a sport finance lecturer at Sheffield Hallam University.
What we're seeing from Saudi Arabia at the minute with regards to sport is some divestment in some of their strategies. They seem to be pivoting towards what they describe as more sustainable operations. Now, we can take that word sustainable with a pinch of salt, of course, given the money they've put in. But they do seem to be going down a different strategy route with sport, and it's still very much high on the agenda. But I think they are looking at their whole portfolio.
Do you think any of this has much to do with the Middle East crisis, which has had a massive impact on tourism in the region?
The conflict is always likely to be a factor. It has ripple effects in terms of wider economic shocks. But it's not the single causal factor. You know, this might have been something that they would have looked to do anyway with some of their sport portfolio, irrespective of wider geopolitics.
Is it fair to say that the LIV Golf experiment has essentially failed and that PGA has stood the test of time?
I think we probably have to be a little bit careful with the word failed right now, that the competition is still in operation, that they might have to scale back. Of course, if the funding is there till the end of the season, there might be some change in the way they operate. We know they're outwardly looking for investment, for somebody to come in and take this forward. So I think as we're talking right now, it's still a competition that's there. I think what the PGA have done all the way through this is look to consolidate and strengthen their position as well, as you would with a disruptor in the market. There has been some coalescence on certain things, but there is still a long way to go with that relationship.
LIV Golf believes that the team golf model is still highly attractive to investors. They're also pointing to what they say is a 100% increase in revenue year on year. Do you think there will be investors come the end of the year when Saudi Arabia pulls out?
Well, look, it's going to be heightened in a sense that if Saudi Arabia and the PIF do pull out, that they're going to need that investment. You know, the losses are clear for everyone to see. In the most recent accounts, they lost $462 million. We've seen the reliance on the PIF in the sense of funding that, as we've alluded to a lot. So they are going to need investment to take it forward. I think that the team golf dynamic is interesting. I think we've seen a lot of individual sports look to pivot or to innovate in terms of bringing in some team aspects because of that frequency of competition, because of the rivalries you can create, and that is a unique position between individual sports and team sports. I think that still holds an attractive place in the sport product marketplace, but it is pretty clear that, yeah, looking at the numbers alone, that LIV is going to need that investment in the future if the funding is to stop at the end of the season.
It was always going to be costly, risky and quite lengthy to create an alternative PGA system. What would you say are the main lessons that have been learned? The
speed at which they've tried to grow has been a challenge. You know, they only formed in 2021, of course, and that was coming out of the pandemic would have had a big impact at the time as well. So these things often take longer than perhaps some people expect. And I think, 3-4 years in, it's clear to see, again, that they are very financially dependent on that investment. They haven't been able to generate the broadcast revenues. They haven't been able to generate the spectator revenues that other sports and golf at other levels has already got in place.